My name is Garth, and I'm the Group Life pastor at Schlange campus. And it's an absolute privilege and honor to be with you today to share this devotional coming out of our series, History Repeated, and lessons we can learn from the early church. Yesterday, Paul shared an awesome devotion. And if you missed that, can I encourage you to go back and watch it? Just hop online. It's available online for you to see. But for today, I'd like to speak on love. And no, not out the book of Corinthians, but from the book of Romans. So let's look at the book of Romans real quickly and put a bit of context into where we find ourselves before I get to my key text today. So Paul, and not Paul Rowney, the Apostle Paul, he wrote the book of Romans in the year AD 57. And he wrote to the church in Rome. And at the time, Paul had never been to Rome. The church was growing. It was started by a group of Jews that found themselves present on the day of Pentecost and on their way back were spreading the gospel and eventually settled in Rome. And the church was growing and thriving. And Rome was considered the capital of the world at the time. So you can imagine the space and environment that the church found themselves in at that time, surrounded by politicians, wealthy people, opulence. We see relics of that opulence today if we visit Rome, or we look online at some of the pictures we see of ancient Rome. And this letter to the church of Rome was Paul's way of him introducing himself to the church. And let's quickly look at the Apostle Paul. He was a well-educated man, very articulate, a passionate person, absolutely passionate. We see it by all the other letters he wrote. And it was this way Paul was introducing himself to the church at Rome. Paul was so articulate and passionate that even today, the book of Romans is considered the cornerstone of the Christian faith, because when Paul wrote this letter down, he divided into three sections, if I can say. Three sections are clearly seen, three themes, if I can put it that way. The first theme, Paul lays down a theological and doctrinal foundation, and then he moves to speak about hope. And then Paul shifts gears and changes, and he speaks about love and how we, as Christ followers, are supposed to express that love in the spaces and environment we find ourselves. And that is how he was addressing the church in Rome. Before I share my text from Romans 12 today, Jesus set this up. Jesus actually said the world would know by our love one for another who he is. So Paul comes in, and I'm going to be reading from the message version. Romans chapter 12, 9 and 10. Love from the center of who you are. Oh, I love that. Don't fake it. Run for dear life from evil. Hold on for dear life to good. And I love this portion that says, be good friends who love deeply. Practice playing second fiddle. I love the way the NIV opens that. It says, love must be sincere. And then I just looked at the New Living Translation, and I was blown away by this. It says, don't just pretend to love others. You know, most of us have grown up and we've learned to be kind. We've learned to be courteous. And we even can pretend when other people are facing difficult times. We know how to act in these ways, and people can see through that. And my encouragement to you today is learn to love from the center of who you are. When I look at my journey through faith, and I was looking for some examples to share with you today, one came glaringly forward was when my wife and we had to move house a couple of years ago, and the small group that we belong to, they offered and said, is there anything we can do to help? And so we said, yes, we'd love, if you can come over. We actually downscaled at the time. We were downsizing. And so we had sold off most of our furniture. So we said, we don't have too much to move across. You won't believe the day we were moving, members of our small group arrived with their vans, their cars, little mini trucks, and didn't hire people to help them to move, got their hands and feet dirty. They moved us. And before we knew it, many hands made light work, and house was clear, and we were unpacking on the other side, to the point that when we were done in the evening, another small group member came over and dropped off some dinner for us, that we didn't have to worry about dinner. And to me, that is love in action. It might just be a mere story, but let me tell you, that story goes far beyond just this me sharing with you. My family was so impacted by that they never forget that. They still talk about it today. Another story I'll share with you real quick. The beginning of this year, I found myself in hospital with a herniated disc, and the doctor sat at the edge of my bed and said, you've got two options. I either operate or you can go get some physio. It'll be quite a long process. I said, well, what's the best option? What are my chances? He said 50-50 on both. So when I heard that, I said, I'm not going to have the operation. The problem is the protracted and prolonged physio meant finances, which I couldn't find in my budget. I didn't share this with many people. My wife and I prayed about it. And our small group rallied together and put money together, and they came and sent me a message and said, we are going to take care of your physio. Oh, I was blown away. And then another member of our small group actually built me a standing desk so that I could stand at my desk and work, and I didn't have to sit for prolonged periods of time, just to help me get the back strong again. That is what we call love in action. That is what Paul was writing into. That is how we're supposed to conduct ourselves. That is how we need to interact with each other. Don't fake it. Love deeply, so that the world would know who Christ is. And how poised are we as a community of faith to do this? Because let me say this, there's no one person that can impact a whole big community or city or nation, but a collection of people, and us as a collective, as a community of faith at Grace, are so poised to be able to impact our community, impact our city, and impact the nation. Before I close off today, I just want to leave three things with you. What does genuine love look like? In the stories I've shared with you, you'd actually see what it looks like when I say genuine love requires concentration and effort. 2, genuine love means helping others become better people. Helping others become better people. And genuine love demands our time. It demands our money and our personal involvement. Don't fake it. You get involved. You do it. I think I'd fail if I didn't take this opportunity to say, if you're looking for a place to belong, a place to make a difference, can I say, log on to our website, find a group. If you can't, get a hold of me. Let me see how I can plug you in, where you can find a place to belong, a community of faith where you can act out and share your love through that way. Also, if you need to make a difference, just check on our community, social community pages, where you can see how you can get involved with our missions and justice projects that are taking place during this time. So before I close, can I just read that scripture again? And I'll read it from the Message again. Love from the center of who you are. Don't fake it. Run for dear life from evil. Hold on for dear life to good. Be good friends who love deeply, and practice playing second fiddle. God bless you.